Welcome to another exciting edition of Million Dollar Peddlers. I'm Papergoy. Today we're going to talk about managed payments, everybody's favorite subject, but more accurately, the psychology of managed payments. I did a quick little synopsis after I first got into managed payments about my feelings about the program. They haven't changed much. They've changed a little bit, and I will be doing another video about that at some point. However, the psychology really is kind of important, and it's that it will make me spend less, period, end of story. There is no doubt at all about it. I've been in it a couple of weeks now, and it was so easy before with PayPal. Now, one thing that I'm doing is I have weekly distributions from managed payments, whereas PayPal, you got the money instantly. I chose the weekly on purpose because, you know, if $48 goes into my account today and $111 goes in tomorrow, I don't tend to notice it. If $1,000 goes into my account all at once, I do tend to notice it. Even if the dribs and the drabs add up to the $1,000. And that's kind of works into with the psychology of PayPal. I would go on and I'd see something or other that I liked, whether it was for my collection, whether it was something or other I wanted to buy for the house, something or other I wanted to try, whatever the case happens to be. And I'd say, geez, it's $60. You know something? I'll sell a couple of things overnight that'll make the $60 back up. And I would just spend the $60 because it wasn't real money and it was always going to be replaced. You know, it was sitting off in PayPal. Yes, I could download it to my account if I needed it. And kind of the way that I worked things was I would leave a balance in PayPal and I would only download money into the account, my bank account, when I had a big bill coming. So let's say that this month the car broke down and I needed 4 new tires on the other car and I had a $1,200 bill coming in. Well, then when that big unexpected bill came in, I would download $1,200 out of PayPal into my bank account and pay off the unexpected bill with that. Ditto property taxes, estimated taxes, all those kind of things. Okay, that's coming up. I'm going to download the money out of PayPal. Otherwise, it just kind of pooled into PayPal. And again, if I had nothing coming along that I was aware of, which I guess is the definition of an unexpected charge, you're not aware of it. But, obviously, let's say that I needed a new roof, I wouldn't be touching money. I would allow it to accumulate in PayPal. I would then download it, pay for the roof type deal. But if I didn't have anything coming along and I had $2,000 sitting in PayPal, accumulating, if I spent $100 on something or other today, it's not the end of the world. And the next day, 2 days, 3 days, whatever, I'll get that $100 back. And when I look in, I'll still have a $2,000 balance in there. Whether it's 2025 or 1998 or whatever, it's going to be close enough to $2,000 that I've got that balance in there. I'm satisfied with that. And as long as when I look in there, there's around $2,000, I didn't really care too much. So in other words, I was buying things for my collection or buying things and not really caring too much because if I spend $20 today, I'll sell something or other and I'll get the $20 back. Well, now that it's going all lump sum into a bank account, and in order for me to pay for an item on eBay, I guess I could use the money out of that bank account, but I'm not going to set it up like that. I either have to use a credit card, which is real money because I know I have to pay that off, or I have to use PayPal, which if I use PayPal, my balance will drop below the number that I want it at. And yes, I can move the money from my bank account into PayPal, but that's an extra step. And every step that you put up along the way, every barrier that you put up to spending money, everything you do to make it more difficult for you to spend money helps you save money. And so there was a set, I've mentioned it before, I'm working on the 1974-75 Topps basketball set in PSA 8 or better. At this point, I'm a third of the way through. It's a 264 card set, so whatever a third of that is, I literally am a third of the way through. I think it's 88 cards I have. I need 176 more cards. I don't need them today. I don't need them tomorrow. I'll complete the set at some point. A couple of the cards are very, very expensive in PSA 8, which I'm kicking myself because I could have purchased them back when I started the set for a fraction of what it would cost me right now. But at some point, they'll come down in value, or I'll make some big score and get the money to buy them, or I'll just never buy them. It doesn't really matter to me too much at this point. I mean, it's just kind of a set that I'd like to have, but I don't have to have it. Usually, if I've got decent sales, what I do is every week I buy a common. And a common's running me with shipping and everything, $10 to $15. Not the end of the world. I kind of justify it that, I make a sale of some magazine and I'm trading that magazine after everything for one of the commons, and I'm happy doing it. I didn't buy a common this week because it's such a rigmarole, and yes, it's only $15 or $17 or something like that out of my PayPal. But then I've got to replace the money because I'm not churning money in PayPal at this point. No money is going into it. And the only money going out of it is for the few fees that I have to pay. So in the back of my head, hey, if I spend $300 on eBay fees this month, my store comes due, this comes due, that comes due, I pay $300. I can move $300 easily enough into there, and that's that, and that's the cost of doing business, and I understand that. But frivolous things, I don't want to have to move $450 in if I only need to move $300 for the business. So it's forcing me to save money, which is a good thing. I'm not saying that isn't a good thing. Where it's a bad thing is it's hurting other eBay sellers because I'm not spending my money. Because again, it's real money. And that works into the whole psychology that you have with Las Vegas, where they give you chips, because those aren't real money, they're just chips. People will spend more on credit cards than they do with cash because a credit card's not real money, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, these tricks are done by the casinos. These tricks are done by businesses for a reason, because they work. Well, same thing on eBay. If I've just got extra money sitting in PayPal, it's not real money. I can spend it. If I've actually got to go through the step of moving it from my bank account into PayPal, it becomes real money. And I'm looking at it going, would I rather have that $15 for a card that just goes in a pile, or would I rather have that $15 to go pay off a bill? Probably rather have it pay off a bill. And again, that's good for me personally because I'm spending less money on frivolous things. It's bad for me as a business because I cannot be the only person who thinks this way. There have to be other people who look at it and say, geez, I've got that money sitting in my bank account. Do I really need to pull it out? Do I really need this item? And if it's forcing everybody before every purchase to question whether they need the item or not, takes away the impulse buying. And very few items that I'm selling does anybody really need. As much fun as it is to get a April 1964 True magazine, and as much fun as they are to read through, you probably don't need it. And so in the long run, this actually might hurt me. Now, I've noticed since I moved over to managed payments, my sales are definitely slower. Ever since the election, my sales are slower. Now, some level of that may be that I'm doing this video a couple of weeks before it posts. We're talking about entering various lockdowns or putting curfews on, et cetera, et cetera. So it very well may be the uncertainty of that. It may be Thanksgiving sneaking up on people. And again, you're watching this after Thanksgiving. I'm doing the video prior to Thanksgiving. It may be Thanksgiving sneaking up on people. It may be any number of things as to why people aren't spending. But I'm wondering if a portion of that isn't because of the managed payments. And again, I know I've curtailed my spending for that very reason, that it's real money. So, again, my suggestion to eBay, and there may very well be a reason why they're not doing it, but allow people to spend that bucket of managed payments money. The money is sitting there. Even if you want to sit there and put a lower limit on it that my average sale is $18, my average returns are this, so you want me always to keep $50 in there for returns, and that $50 cannot be spent, fine. Allow me to spend any money above $50. I have my money downloaded every week. Hopefully I've got more than $50 sitting in there at any given time other than the first day after the download. you can work it out, I would think. I mean, I know that in a lot of ways eBay wants to be Amazon, and Amazon does not allow you to spend your pending funds. But don't be Amazon. Allow us to spend the pending funds. I know that I wouldn't really notice, and I probably would be spending a little more money on eBay. I'm not. And again, it's helping me out personally. It's helping me out financially as far as that goes. But if enough people feel the same way and enough people curtail their spending, it's only going to hurt eBay, and it's only going to hurt every one of us. So figure out a way to make it, eBay. Make it work. Make us have the ability to spend out of our pending payments. Thank you. See you next video.